On April 19th, 2021, Minecraft speedrunner Brentilda completed the game in just 9 minutes and 36 seconds, breaking the previous world record by more than a full minute. This groundbreaking run is the only random seed glitchless run in the history of the game of Minecraft to be finished in under 10 minutes. Well, at least it was. Since that day, Minecraft players across the globe have been on the hunt for another sub-10 speedrun. And if you were to come up to a random one of these runners and ask what version of the game they play, Bedrock or Java, well, first off, they'd be pissed at you for interrupting their run, but 99% of the time, they'd say the latter. That's reasonable enough. Bedrock's pretty glitchy and takes a lot of resetting, but it doesn't stop a small but dedicated community of Bedrock runners from playing the game they love. One of these runners is called KiwiestBirb, and one day, they achieved the impossible. This is the story of a runner who rolled one of the greatest seeds you'll ever see, and played it to absolute perfection. This is the story of the Bedrock Sub-10. The biggest difference between Bedrock and Java, and the secret to a world record on Bedrock, is in the Stronghold generation. In Java, as you might know, Strongholds generate in rings radiating from 0, 0. The absolute closest a Stronghold can possibly be to the origin is 1280 blocks, which means runners usually have to travel via the Nether in order to reach the end at a good pace. Nether travel is an imprecise process though, and even though innovations like divine travel and perfect travel strats give runners a little more control than they once had, it's still common for players to re-enter the overworld thousands of blocks from the nearest stronghold, killing their runs instantly. Even if they're lucky enough to get close, they still run the risk of breaking their Eyes of Ender while they locate the portal room exactly. Stress from finding a stronghold kills more Java players a year than minecart accidents and creepers combined. Why am I telling you all this? Because on Bedrock, you can find the stronghold before you even leave the overworld. Even though Bedrock strongholds generate at least 512 blocks from 0, 0, you can enter into the world right above the portal. When loading in a seed, the game will try to place you at coordinates 44, 4. But the thing is that Bedrock will only allow your spawn point to be in 4 different biomes: plains, forest, taiga, and jungle. If the initial spawn point is in, say, an ocean, the game will change your x-coordinate 4 blocks at a time until it finds a spawnable space. Anywhere more than 512 blocks means a stronghold could be right nearby. Kiwi ends up spawning at the edge of a plains biome with an x-coordinate of 1792. That's more than far enough out for strongholds to generate, but it's still not ideal. You see, the way Bedrock runners figure out possible stronghold locations is by finding villages on the surface. Well, there's a savannah village right there, so Kiwi's all set, right? Not really. Only 3 strongholds in the whole world will have villages above them, and here's the thing. These are almost always the closest strongholds to the origin. Kiwi is a little ways away from the Goldilocks zone of x858 to x1572, where villages are most likely to have strongholds underneath them. So any that generate this far out are unlikely to be among the closest 3 strongholds to 0, 0. That said, looking at the grid, there's still about a 6% chance for a stronghold to be under that savannah village. It's worth a shot, so Kiwi rushes over, mines some hay bales for food, gathers beds for the 1 cycle, and then starts making tools. To get iron, they aggro the golem and then dig a 2-block hole in the ground as they kill it. It's really a matter of preference whether you pillar up or dig down like Kiwi, but a lot of Bedrock runners choose the latter because you're less likely to be killed by a glitch with the golem. Either way, the process is pretty fast on Bedrock because there's no attack cooldown. The golem drops 5 iron, so Kiwi crafts a bucket and is ready to head for the stronghold. Thanks to the work of a player named Sprinks, who first learned how to use the positioning of village bells to determine the stronghold's exact location under the village, Kiwi is able to dig directly down into the starter staircase. At this point, Kiwi's hit pretty much the bare minimum requirements to have any chance at a Bedrock world record, and already the runs required some incredible RNG. Not only were they lucky enough to spawn over 1,000 blocks from 0, 0 and be right next to a village, there was only a 6% chance a stronghold would even be here. Bedrock speedrunning has a high ceiling for sure, but it's easy to see how many resets it must take to find a decent seed. After some quick navigation, Kiwi's able to reach the portal room and begin building the Nether portal. A nice perk of Bedrock is that wood lighting strats are a lot more reliable than on Java, Kiwi can just dump lava on some planks and light the portal without wasting any time getting flint and steel. Entering the Nether, KiwiestBirb spots a fortress right away. This is super helpful and really lucky because, unlike in Java, where structures generate in every Nether quadrant, each Bedrock quadrant only has about a 50% chance of generating a fortress or a bastion. Even when these structures do generate, the larger Bedrock quadrant sizes can make them tough to find, not to mention the fact that Bedrock runners can't use F3. Rather than head for the fortress right away, Kiwi stops to mine out some nether gold ore with their iron pick. This honestly shocked me when I first watched this, because I thought this meant Kiwi was going to be using classic strats on a world record run to trade for pearls, but as it turns out, they were just using the gold to make some boots. Going out of your way to make gold armor in order to protect yourself from piglins isn't something that you're probably used to seeing in modern Minecraft speedruns. But when Kiwi comes across a treasure bastion, it's clear that the small time loss from crafting the boots was well worth it. Treasure bastion routes in particular are almost impossible to pull off on Bedrock Edition without gold armor, because of the version's different piglin AI. Aggroing one piglin is more likely to make other piglins all over the bastion mad at you, which results in a swarm of piglins that not only poses a threat to the player, since piglins do slightly more damage on Bedrock, but also to the other piglins. If the piglins start shooting each other,
he's shooting at me! Why is he shooting at me?
They won't want to barter with you. Anyway, because Kiwi has gold armor, they won't have this problem. Fortunately, Bedrock bastion routes are built to take advantage of the edition's piglin AI, including the fact that these piglins are only able to pathfind to gold items on their Y level. Kiwi executes it well, gathering gold blocks and finally luring an entire pack of piglins into a hole for trading. They'll get a splash potion of fire resistance, which will come in handy later, plus 13 ender pearls, before purling out of the bastion towards the fortress. Here we are, just 6 minutes into the run, and KiwiestBirb has all the pearls they need, plus another portal leading straight to the Stronghold. Insane. Coming up to the spawner, Kiwi takes down a couple of blazes before using blaze bed strategies to increase the area that blazes can spawn in, and therefore the number of blaze spawns on average. Now, this is the point where having gone to the bastion first to get those fire resistance potions really comes in handy. Even though the lack of an attack cooldown can make the fight a little easier, Bedrock blazes are still scarily accurate. Even if you somehow manage to dodge their shots, the fireballs are notorious for being so bugged that they'll light you on fire anyway. Granted, many of these issues have been patched in newer Minecraft updates, so don't send any death threats to Mojang, but these same updates also severely nerfed Pearl trade rates, so most runners choose to stick with this older, slightly glitchier version of the game. Blazes aren't a problem for Kiwi, who's a very skilled fighter, but what they can't control is RNG. They spend nearly 2 full minutes killing 16 blazes and only end up with 5 rods to show for it. That the run is still on sub 10 pace after such an unlucky fortress is a testament to Kiwi's skill and the greatness of the seed, but it just goes to show how much faster this run could have been if blaze drops were even so much as average. With a pretty cool MLG hay bale, KiwiestBirb leaves the fortress, heads back through the portal, and into the Stronghold. 9 minutes into the run, it's time for the end. They craft their eyes, fill the frame, and use their last pearl to teleport to the main island, where the dragon perches instantly. Now, the pressure's really on. Of course, this is far from KiwiestBirb's first chance at the world record. They've been at the forefront of the Bedrock category and of the Bedrock community for a long time now, and the leaderboards show it. But this one is different. To have a shot at something as historic as the first sub 10 in Bedrock history, heck, only the second sub 10 in Minecraft history, is something incredible. And all they've got left is the one cycle. You have to do 2 things in order to kill the dragon successfully on Bedrock. Shoot some kind of projectile at the dragon's neck to activate quadruple damage. Yeah, I know, it's a bug, don't ask me why. And build a lava tower. As soon as you start blowing up beds to damage the dragon, it's going to want to fly away, and you need the lava flow to slow it down enough for you to be able to finish it off. Normally, players would build the lava tower right above the dragon's head, but if you mistime it, you run the risk of having the lava push the dragon down into the exit portal, making it impossible to place beds and ruining the run. So, KiwiestBirb builds their tower a little off-center. It's not a perfect strategy. There's a chance having the lava this far away won't slow the dragon down at all. But you don't get world record without taking risks. Kiwi lands some hits on the dragon's neck with their sword, and then starts the one cycle. 3 beds later, they've made history. 9 minutes, 55 seconds. The greatest Bedrock speedrun of all time, courtesy of perhaps the greatest Bedrock runner of all time, comes to an end. In the battle to push Minecraft to its very limits, don't count Bedrock out. Congratulations to KiwiestBirb on an absolutely incredible run. They're a criminally underrated Minecraft player, and if you're not already subscribed to their YouTube channel and following their Twitch, I can't recommend it enough. A very special thanks to all the Bedrock runners and strategists who contributed to the research for this video. Voxen, Danny15, Sprinks, and CalvinXD were extremely helpful answering all our questions about Bedrock strats. If you enjoyed the video, leaving a like, a comment, and dropping a sub is always appreciated. And as always, thank you all for watching.